Hey guys, today we're talking about the comedian's analogy. Before we look at some comedy, we have to understand what an analogy is. It's a metaphor or simile, but an analogy doesn't just describe, it helps explain a concept. It's like a piece of coding for a video game that makes abstract text into a visible world. So, what's a comedian's analogy? It's an analogy, but what makes theirs so special? It makes you laugh, but more importantly, it's how it makes you laugh. Comedians are masters at comparing two unlike things, but two unlike things that are meant to create humor when put together. To help explain, let's see how Ari Shafir compares adoption to an NFL draft.
And plus, whatever, if I get a vasectomy and then let's say I change my mind and I want a kid someday, I can just adopt a kid. I don't see why nobody thinks that's an option. What's wrong with adoption? Why would you try to build a new team through the draft when there's quality free agents waiting to get picked up?
Shafir here is comparing orphans to free agents of the NFL. He's understanding the meaning of adoption by comparing it to free agency in the NFL, which to some people might be even more important than having a child. Now, this comparison is more of a metaphor than an analogy, but it shows what matters in a comedian's analogy, which are the nouns, and that's what makes the jokes work. For Shafir, his nouns are orphans and free agents. But now let's look at Neil Brennan's Three Mics special, where he compares testosterone to a prison inmate.
Women have estrogen. Like, the worst thing estrogen will suggest is, like, let's get some wine and go on Etsy. Not that bad. Whereas testosterone, everything it wants is against the law. It is like having a prison inmate living inside you. Where he's like, let's fucking do it. I say, you're like, take it easy, man. It's 7:30 in the morning. He's like, I don't give a fuck, bro. I'll be doing dips till you're ready. All day, bro.
Notice here how Brennan has made testosterone, which is an internal force within us, into a character, something tangible, something that was abstract and now is something in reality. You can see the same idea work with the hormone monster in the show Big Mouth.
Okay, well, good night.
Knock, knock. Who's there? It's the hormone monster.
No. You gotta be kidding me. Nick is right there, sir.
And?
And I'm a good person. I wouldn't do that laying next to a friend.
Then why am I here?
Oh my God, you're always right. What the hell is wrong with me?
Nothing. You're a perfectly normal, gross little dirtbag. Now stare at that cat clock and massage your dinger.
No, Nick's grandmother gave him that clock.
She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, she did. Okay.
Oh.
So why does all of this even matter? What are comedians trying to accomplish by making abstract ideas into reality? Why are they trying to make you laugh about them? To understand this, let's take a closer look at the scene from Big Mouth that I played earlier. Here, the character Andrew struggles to fight his hormonal urges while sleeping next to his best friend. It's an awkward situation, and more importantly, it's a character defining action. Doing the deed will certainly make him feel like the disgusting pervert he does not want to be, and will make us, as the audience, question him as a character. But by making the act into a visible conversation between two characters instead of an internal monologue, the show has made this very awkward and disgusting situation into something relatable to the audience, something they can laugh about. And that's what the comedian's analogy is all about. It's about making our most embarrassing actions or darkest desires into humor. And it makes us laugh at our own flawed human conditions. So let's remember what makes the comedian's analogy. The nouns are important because that's what makes the comedy. It could be like testosterone into a prison inmate, like Neil Brennan's example, or it could be an actual character, like the hormone monster. Now, it isn't just about the nouns, it's about how those nouns are used within the context of the analogy. And that, my friends, is comedic timing. As an example, let's go back to Neil Brennan as he builds on his testosterone prison inmate example, where he continues to do his dips.
Yeah, being an adult man is basically about controlling your testosterone. Marriage especially. Like the marriage vows are like, do you promise to love, honor, and cherish? But it should be like, do you promise to not let your testosterone try to fuck the babysitter? We're like, I do. Meanwhile, testosterone's like, you can't promise that, bro. I fuck babysitters. Straight up, I fuck babysitters.
It's difficult to show timing since I can only put a small part of the special, but know that it's all about the context. Brandon doesn't bring up the analogy again until he talks about marriage and how it's affected by testosterone. And that's when he decides to use the analogy, because the context allows for it. And that's the comedian's analogy. It's the nouns, the context, and the timing. That's what allows it to work. That's what makes the audience laugh. And that's the comedian's analogy. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.